What is going on, everyone, and welcome to another installment of the MRL Millennium Racing League Cup Series here for the season finale at Homestead. I know we are a little bit later than what we usually run, but that is because the regular season finale literally just ended, and it is 11:05 my time right now, Eastern Standard Time. So we are rocking and rolling right now for this race. So, joining me up here in the booth is as per the past couple weeks, BS 14 cars, as well as the in race reporter, being the championship winner. Actually, yes, you heard that correct. The season finale and the title is already decided. That is because we are at well, we are used Winston Cup points, and you don't have to win the last race in order to win the championship. We are already deciding that. So, guys, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I feel like I feel like no one ever says no. I'm all right. Could be better. No one ever says that. It's always like I'm doing great. But that is always good to hear, though. Cyber, how you doing today?
Doing well and great.
Well, thank you so much for being our in-race reporter tonight. That is going to be a tough spot to fill, especially with so much pressure being put on you in order to go out and win. I mean, oh wait, oh look at that, you already won. So I'm sure, Cyber, you are just looking for a nice, solid race at Homestead. What are your goals for this race?
My goals is just basically I'm not in a situation where I'm not gonna push tonight. I'm just gonna let the car come to me, and when it comes to me, I'll let it take over the rest of the way. The rest.
Well, there you go. Like I said, of course, you don't have to win tonight. You don't have to really, like, you could start and park for all you care. You could honestly just be like, you know what, I'm a dip right now because you already won. You put in your last place points. And speaking of you are going to be a well, funnily enough, weird how things work out like that. You will be a our pole sitter for tonight with Xander P2 BD P3. However, because it is so late, the race there will be some drivers that will not be joining us. So that will be a key thing for tonight. So we're gonna see who's gonna join and who's gonna gain some points on the competition here, especially as we are well so close to the end of the season because one race away. BS, who do you have your eyes on for tonight?
I just want to see how Cyber and Xander end their seasons, and I'm kind of curious to see what Brandon is capable of if he's indeed racing tonight. He put in a backwards lap in qualifying, so we don't actually know exactly what he has, but he really likes this racetrack, and I'm curious to see what he'll do.
All right. Well, I mean, Homestead was one of his favorite tracks going into this race, so we're gonna definitely see what can be done here because he made a special comeback, saying that he will not be joining us for the Dash for Cash season, but instead will be racing Xfinity as well as the Homestead race for tonight. So we're going to see how things kind of work on out. Me personally, my eyes are on the two drivers for that are making their second and last hot seat starts. That is Kalen, or I guess one driver. Technically, Hunty is not an Xfinity exclusive, so I got Hunty and Kalen on my eyes. But of course, you can't go wrong with the man on pole right now, as well as Kalen. So what I'm gonna do is, I know people have been waiting long enough. I'm gonna start on the Discord, get the lobby started. Go ahead, talk about the tips for Homestead. What can be looked at? It's gonna be 134 laps tonight, so I'll be right back.
All right, well, I kind of suck at this track, so um, yeah, I think the I ran a few laps of this track before the for testing purposes for the Cup Series. I noticed I could run 29 and a quarter laps on a tank of gas. So I'm curious to see what how the fuel strategy will play out. I think that adds up to a 4 stop race. Yep, 4 stops. Awesome. So Cyber, I asked the in-race reporter last week how much he was going to win by. I feel like I have to ask you the same question. How much are you going to win by tonight? Alrighty, this feels slightly awkward.
It's never awkward if
I'm
you make
trying.
it awkward.
It's only wait, what? Oh boy. Oh boy. So only the only other things I can really add to the that I haven't already said that I feel comfortable in saying is that don't hit the apron, practice getting on the pit road probably, and the way people take their lines will be rather interesting. There seems to be a lot of sliding around on the long runs. I find that I specifically have lots of problems coming off turn 2. Turn 4 seems considerably easier, although I feel like that could be just a me thing.
Definitely, Homestead is one of the most aggressive. We kind of talked about this with Texas the other day for last race specifically. Texas is one of those tracks. Same thing with Homestead. If you bounce off the apron, you will be sent rocking and rolling. People think that they can run the high side, and yes, you can technically run the high side. However, it comes with a price. You know, you pick too loose of a setup, you are going to go spinning. That is the big one. You do not want to do that. So that is you're going to see most people run the bottom. However, you will see people kind of join on up and kind of test the waters up top. But definitely look for the people getting loose off 2 and 4, two specifically because there is a little transition that if you hit it just right, you're going off spinning. So that is a big thing, as well as one thing that is for everyone racing right now. We had a bit of an issue last week with blend line violations. This week, people will be asked to take the access road coming off of pit road. That will be the big thing that these guys will have to do. So with that being said, if we see anyone not take the access road coming off pit road, we have to call it their BS. And of course, Cyber in the race right now, he is going to be quiet, but we will be asking to see what lap is going to be on, as well as just general advice on how the car is feeling, because it looks like we're going to have 12 drivers racing tonight. And like I said, I mean, that's basically to be expected with how late this is running. We are running basically 2 hours later than we normally do. So I appreciate the turnout for these guys and people waiting for immediately after the race in order to come on in. So yes, like I said, we are going to be rocking and rolling here in just 1 minute. It's going to be 11:17 our time, well, my time specifically. Eastern, for anyone wondering. No one cares, but so I don't know why I'm talking. So we will see
I
how that's
care.
gonna. Really. Um, so yeah. And of course, to kind of hit on it being championship week, and not just for the Cup Series, but it is championship week for Sunday and Monday series as well. Of course, Sunday UK has. I can just say it right now because anyone racing will basically already have their time. He has locked up the title with his lap right now, so that's all he needs to do is just. Well, he doesn't need to do anything else. So we will see how things kind of shake on out for Monday, because that is going to be the one that's going to be up in the air. Packers versus Nathan. It is now 11:17, so I will be unpausing the lobby. Let me know when I can join. Please send me invites. I've gotten 0. All right,
Is this the
so
first time UK's sent a lap all season?
false. He has sent laps in for Cup and the beginning part of Xfinity. For like
Okay.
one race in Xfinity and like 2 races in Cup when it first started, but he kind of dropped on off and wanted to do like a mid pack to the front challenge. So it worked out for some people. However, with him specifically, up until last week, he went and has either finished first or second. However, we have some new people joining us for the league, so it is going to be a big change for some of these guys who will be able to capitalize on the well the myriad of mistakes that some people will be making, as well as Homestead just being the season finale. BS, make sure we are good to go. So let's accept our invites, and we'll see you on track here stream. All right. So like I said, we have going to be 12 drivers joining us tonight. Like I said, and I very much am appreciative on everyone being patient with us, as well as having a multitude of ways to get on in. So that is very much appreciated. So to kind of go through the rest of the lineup as they are kind of going through. I will wait until everyone kind of gets in order here, because we will have to see who from the lineup showed up and not. So definitely for sure, though, it's going to be Cyber and Xander first and second. I can only assume Cyber is going to be exactly where he is right now, which is P1. And same thing with Xander, already being P2. So those two just need to stay in line, essentially. BD is not going to be joining us. Goose will be taking P3 from that. Liam will be taking P4. Brandon, P5. Packers will not be joining us. So Piper takes P6 from that. After that, we have to skip down to UK, which will be P7. Justin Shackett, P8. After that, it will be Bushfan, P9. Hunty, P10. MH, P11. And then Kalen, who will be taking this hot seat, final hot seat for the race, will be P12. So with such a small field, all things considering, you're going to see a myriad of different strategies. You'll see something akin to Kentucky, I would say, to where these guys will be kind of going as long as they can. However, we will see how things kind of shake on out. BS, what do you expect? Would you rather go long, or go short?
I would expect these guys to go as long as they can. The fuel window driving as hard as you can is 29 laps here, so that equates to roughly a 4-stop race. How many pit stops did Packers need at Kentucky?
Packers also took a 4-stop. Everyone else was on. Well, because when the caution came on out, totaling on up, and as we are green here for the season finale, the Dixie Vodka 400. Packers, when that caution was the perfect time to stop 3 more times. So, but before that, he stopped once before. So you can see that Liam's already getting loose. So actually, no, I lied. That was a purposeful go to the rear right there. So of course, Liam. Not really known for his lag, but definitely doesn't help him in his racing endeavors. So I think he kind of had that heads-up driving as well. Everyone else kind of moving forward as well with this race. You can see Hunty's moving forward. UK has moved forward. US Track Enterprise has already moved into P2. And for shots and goggles here, I did the math on what the points would be like should Xander have put in a lap at Charlotte, and that would have been a 25 to 28 depending on how good or bad his lap was, depending on how you look at it, a 25 or a 28 point deficit. So we can play what if all we want, but with 12 drivers joining us, BS, that would essentially mean Cyber would have had to lagged out of the race, or something akin to that, like Xander leading every single lap. But you can see MH and Brandon getting way, way loose off two. Good thing there was no one below them right there, because that would have been a death sentence. But essentially, we can play what ifs all we want, but it appears that actually that would have meant that Cyber probably would have had the championship locked up to begin with.
Yeah, I think he would have needed to finish about 6 or so to guarantee it, and that's assuming Xander won the race. So I don't think it was that big of a determining factor. It would be interesting, but I think we would more than likely get the same result, especially seeing how they're 1-2 and driving away from the field right now.
Yes, that's one thing I'm noticing as well. I think as soon as the 18 got clear of the 3, I think everyone, the field as the 00 gets wicked loose, got tagged from the 17 as the 17 tried to make a move to 34, pushing the 17 a little bit wide, but now the 34 making a big move into P4. And they're 3 wide here on the back. Pied Piper in the 38 down low, the 00 in the middle with the 3 up top. That means I think the field kind of realized that maybe the 3 was a cork right there. Ooh, wicked loose right there off 4. Yeah, that is a big factor for how these cars will kind of go through. This is on fresh tires, by the way. Imagine what they're going to do on worn tires.
Yeah, and that's going to be a lot of wrecking off of turn 2 for sure when they start really getting loose. It looks like the top 3 have a better grasp on the track right now than the rest of the field.
By the way, while that was going on, there was a change for the lead.
It's just a 3-car breakaway, and then this just melee of a pack back here. They're 3 wide already. Here we go.
Ooh, the 3 putting Justin Shack into the wall right there. And then they're 4 wide, but I think the 3 kind of got loose right there. There is a little bit of a transition. It's hard to say if he just was trying to make an evasive maneuver, but yeah, right now that 3 is handling like garbage right now. But it's definitely, the race is far from over. You just got to keep your foot in it. Not literally, but you just got to keep pedaling, because there's 134 laps and a lot of racing to do.
Things are all quiet up at the front, but there's battle for 6, I believe, between Kalen and Bushvan. This looks like the best battle on track right now.
Yes, Bushman actually a little bit laggy, so I don't think anyone quite wants to be where he is right now. Ooh, Liam actually had a little bit of a lag spike right there. We're actually going to see. And Nathan, I see you. Just thank you so much for joining us. But yeah, we are seeing that Liam gets wicked loose right there. And the 11 of Kalen goes all the way around, and 43 is down into. Oh, the inside wall, and I don't think that was enough to bring out a yellow because that was a one-car incident for all the game is concerned right there. But one thing that's actually a great segue is we have with the Dash for Cash, we're going to be introducing more manual yellows. So that would be classified as 1 incident and 3 incidents off contact, which essentially 2 more of that. And they will be there will be a yellow. However, if an in-game caution comes on out, we will essentially restart it because the in-game cautions will essentially act as a yellow as they are intended to be.
I'm watching the battle for P4 between MH and Hunty and Brandon. 34 is really loose right now. His car's he's not like his car right now, and the 0 and the 17 are trying to capitalize.
Nathan saying, "Let's go, Piper." Piper always has some fans. Such a likable guy, honestly. I think the 00, and the 34. I don't know if that was a block or a block gone wrong. We kind of saw that in the real life Cup race with Chase Elliott bringing out a massive accident right there, but that was kind of very similar to that, except both of them would have been into the wall as the 34 is all sorts of loose. That's going to open up the door for the 17, who is right behind right now. I think the 00 was pushing the 34 forward, trying to get him up to that top 3 that are becoming specs on their in their windshields right now. But when that kind of got loose, it was like, okay, it's time to move on and get this guy out of here. And meanwhile, the 17 just, I feel like, probably has the same mentality, just needs to get a little bit closer. It's all about finding a rhythm right now, making sure that you're not too loose off of the corners. 17's probably going to look low here. Nope, the 34 had a little bit of a lag spike right there. I'm hearing nothing from that, so that could just been on my end. But there actually have been incidents where apparently I called a lag warning when they actually never lagged. So sometimes I myself lag and it just appears as lag on screen. So sometimes how that happens. So moving back on forward with the front pack here, we're seeing, there it is. The 18 actually has caught the front 2. Meanwhile, the 14 and the 1 of Xander have been nose to tail. Cyber, how does the car feel right now? Just right behind the draft of Xander.
Car feels great. Just settling behind Xander. That's all. Feels good. Nothing too worried about.
All right. Well, as we are getting closer and closer to pit stops, you can see the 18 right behind you just got loose. You said car feels fine. Are you worried about getting loose at all, or is that not a concern?
I'm just countering attack the looseness, that's all. I know it's gonna get loose off the corner, so I'm just trying to, have an easy corner in and out.
Well, I'll let you be right there as the 18 is putting some pressure on you. So thank you for letting us know. What lap is it before we let you go totally?
Currently lap 17, coming to lap 18.
Copy. All right, thank you, Cyber. So lap 17, lap 18. So you said pit every 29 laps. Is that what you said?
That's the outside window pushing as hard as you can.
Oh, okay.
Not saving fuel, but driving it.
Okay, so that's when it opens. Okay, is the lap 29. Copy. Okay. That's when it opens.
You can save more than that.
So probably we'll just, for a rough estimate, we can expect maybe 30, 31 laps, maybe. We'll definitely see some people pit with 29 as Xander really pushes up the track right there, getting really tight off that
18
corner.
mid wall.
Right now, it's it's now going to be a two-car battle up front. With meanwhile the 43, I'm just kind of going through the field right now. The 43 and the 41 have definitely found themselves together quite often throughout the season. The 41 though making the pass, and the 43 gets loose. So that was really close from the 43, just absolutely demolishing the 41 right there. But we're going to see that we have a big battle going on for P4 right now. Hunty wants it. The Brandon has it. Brandon's in the 17. You have MH making his second start in the series. Up in the top side, he's probably going to get loose off 2, though. Oh, actually, no. I see the 18 up there getting wicked loose up there. So that's definitely something we have to look on out for. Meanwhile, you can actually see some of these guys are going to be racing with us in the Cup Series. I'm talking about the 11 of Kalen. So everyone in this field will be in the Cup Series next season, as well as Kalen full time. So what can Kalen do? Of course, his last start was a P2 at the Indy Road Course. So what can happen actually throughout the rest of this race? Because of course you never want to just assume the race is over before the first pit stops already happened. Look at Texas last week. Pit road speeding penalties, people getting loose, people running out of fuel. The race is never over until it is truly over.
Yeah, you gotta watch out and see who's gonna make the mistakes and who's gonna run the clean race. Whoever runs the clean race is gonna make their way forward against their peers who cannot do the same.
Exactly, and that is one thing to definitely just keep an eye of. And I always talk about the driver mentality, and sometimes there is always a push to go out and just win and dominate a race. But sometimes you have to take it little by little. It's a game of inches and not miles. So when you see like Xander and Cyber that are pulling away from the field, the 18's getting wicked loose. If I'm in the 18 shoes, you just got to realize, what? Okay, sometimes, I don't have it this run, but the race is far from over. Maybe they'll make a mistake. Xander literally last week, wrecked himself once and then got a pit road speeding penalty. I mean, that's just an example. So the race is far from over from any of these guys' perspectives. But right now it is currently those two that are the class of the field right now. You can see the top three actually making up a little bit of ground on that 18. So as the 34, 17, and 18 are all kind of 34, 17, and 00, my bad. I apologize about that. We're all kind of duking out. They're actually making up a little bit of ground on that 18, which is wicked loose every single corner as the 17 gets loose and kind of gets the front fender of the 00. The 00, of course, dominated Sunday Xfinity, let me clarify. The Charlotte Roval last week. You can actually see that he's kind of struggling right now.
Yeah, he classifies himself as a road course expert, and he already said he didn't like Homestead. He said he would be here, but he didn't like the racing, and we kind of see that right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Of course, Homestead, especially on Heat 5, is very flawed. I mean, let's be honest. Especially coming off too, as we ride with MH. Going to see if people get loose. You can see MH getting a little bit wobbly right there. 17 getting even more so. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's just kind of the ebb and flow of Homestead on this game. Because you kind of see it with turn 4, but not nearly as much as you do off turn 2. But yeah, right now the 34 kind of having a very quiet race right now. Just P4, yes, he kind of got loose and has gotten to the wall a couple times, but for everyone racing around him right now, he is doing a very good job.
MH is running a great race right now. he's getting the least amount of loose out of the cars around him, it seems like, and he's reaping the rewards of that. The only drivers that have been better than him at doing that are, of course, your top three here. And as of the last few laps, Mopao has been struggling a little bit to keep his car under him.
I was just on board with the 11 right there of Kalen. Kalen is he's leaving the 42 of Bushfan. This is currently, to give you perspective, Kalen's P7 right now. Bushfan's P8. But however, he is actually closing in on Hunty and the 17. The 17 I'm seeing is wicked loose right now, and I think he's actually just gonna give up the spot to Hunty, who has been very patient with him, and he will try to fall on behind. No, he won't actually. Let's kind of go on board with that right there. Hunty. Actually, I thought the 17 was going to give up the ghost right there and just allow the 00 pass, but the 17, I think, just needs those adjustments because he is so loose right now. The 00 actually bouncing off the apron right there. The 00 is going to be on the outside. I think the 00 has just had enough and is going to be very similar paint schemes. I just now realized it's blue on orange right there, so weird how that works out sometimes. But yeah, those two are just going neck and neck. The 17 taking a wide corner. Oh, but the 00 getting loose. I did see the 18 diving down below the apron in order to pit. I think you can see a lot of people doing the same.
I'm riding along with the front two to check out their lines a little bit. They look like they're staying low all the way through the corner, whereas you see some of the other drivers, they're up the track a little bit. And is that it? Yep. I think the one and the 14 are both signaling that they're going to pit this time.
Yes, and that is now when one person comes on down pit road, everyone starts coming on down pit road. Now the window is open.
I was watching their line, and they were really lower than everybody else on the racetrack. They even exited kind of low. So I'm thinking because they can hold their car down there longer than everybody else, that's where they're getting most of their speed from compared to the competition.
Well, one thing I'm seeing for sure is that the 18 and 34 are as close as they've been since the drop of the green. Right now, and the 3 I think is actually going to be 3 is pitting this time. So that was not a battle for position, but the 43 is also going to be pitting right now as the 3 and 43 are actually battling for position. The 43 being a little bit more aggressive going on pit road, and you can just see the conservative versus hard pushing approach as Xander and Cyber both have made their pit stops and will exit right now.
It looked like 34 gained the most on pit road. Brandon is gone compared to him, and he made a lot of ground on the 18, so I think the big winner out of this pit cycle was the 34.
Yes, for sure. And Hunty is now on pit road, so I'm going to be on board with him to see where he comes on out in comparison to the 34 and the 17. There's the 18, there's the 34, and 00 is now coming off pit road, so now the 00 is kind of in a race of his own right now, as the 11, who undercut the 17, is now moved himself into P4 right now. P5, pardon me about that. 17 into P6, and now Hunty into P7. So interesting to see how that shakes on out, depending on when you come on out. How many laps was 50%? That is 134 laps, and you will see as you just see, people pit between 29 and 31 laps. 29 was like people like the 18, the 11 pit with the 18, and then 30 was like everyone else minus out the 3 and 00. So interesting strategies here, as you can see. The battle between 9th, 10th, and 11th right now, or sorry, 10th, 11th, and 12th is the 3 of U.S. Strike Enterprise. You have the 43 of Liam now making the pass, so that will be for P10 right there. That's for a top 10, and then Justin Shack is now going in and trying to pass both of these guys right now. So there's battles all over the track, despite it not being for probably the position that they're really wanting.
This battle for 10th really looks like the best battle on track right now. Everyone else, oh, there's a little bit of contact between 3 and the 43. They get it sorted out. But yeah, this definitely looks like the best battle on track right now. As I scroll through the rest of the field, everyone else is kind of by themselves right now, and they're just trying to log laps and make time.
Yes, and that's
Plus other
what.
battle ice.
Yeah, I was just agreeing with you right there. Everyone else. Now, when the first pit stop happens, everyone is kind of locking themselves to that strategy. So, interesting to see how different people have been making up ground. How many times have been sent for Monday? I have no idea, my guy. I'm sorry about that. Last I checked, 0, but I haven't seen any since. So if you sent one, then probably you're the first one. But yes, that is something that I'm going to keep an eye on right now, because like I said, this is the first race of the championship week. We have currently, well, I can already say it right now as we go into Sunday morning here soon. UK has locked up the Sunday title because he has put in a lap. Everyone that has put in a lap will put in a lap. So, but yeah, we're going to see. But then, yeah, if you haven't sent one, then 0 people have put in a time for Monday, which is very weird, all things considering. Because I mean, unless I'm missing something, of course. But last I checked, no one has recorded a lap. So
Usually Sunday's the day where just nobody puts in a real time. What's going on with these Monday guys lately?
yeah, I know, right? I think people are kind of just waiting for the end of the season and waiting for the reset. Because, like I said, with the new guys that are coming in, people are indeed waiting for the reset. And I've said this throughout the entirety of the season that, there are some people that see a big gap between points contenders. Like, for the longest time, Cyber had a race distance on people in terms of points, and I'm sure people kind of see that and see, oh, well, there's no point in racing, and there's always a point in racing, because with Winston Cup points, Hunty just joined 2 weeks ago, and he's already coming up on the top 20 in points. So, never count yourself out, especially late in the battle. Gio is in chat right now asking who's leading. That is the 1 of Xander. The 14 of Cyber is chasing him on down. In fact, let's check in with our race reporter. Cyber, how you doing today? Or how you doing right now, I should say, on this second stint?
Currently right now, just letting the car be right now on its own and let it come to me.
Well, right now, it appears to me that you're a little tight coming off the corners. Is it like that for you, or am I just misseeing?
I'm just trying to avoid not getting loose off the corner. Basically, that's the reason why.
Okay, so I would probably assume that's normally how I would do it. Is I tighten up the car when I know there's gonna be a corner, like at Texas. I tighten up the car that I feel like I'm literally driving a tow truck. It's plowing tight, but hey, it works. So sometimes that's all that matters. But yes, all right, Cyber. I'll let you be. What lap is it before we let you go?
We are currently on lap 43, coming to lap 44.
Aha! So there we go. So the race is actually plugging along right now. Thank you, Cyber, for the check-in right there. Geo in chat, the 2 people in chat right now that have been consistently commenting. Nathan, of course, Agent Orange, who's on baby duty right now, or else he would be in with us watching, or not watching, racing. He is in chat, as well as Geo. That is the leader, the team owner of George Merrick Incorporated. The team that Xander races for. So, of course, Xander having a very dominating season. However, he will not bring home the title. He will, by just starting, he locks up P2 in the Cup Series points. So, oh, we're hearing something going on with the 3. All right, hang on. We're hearing something going on with for the 41 to 3. Hang on, we're going to keep an eye on that.
I've been watching. They got really aggressive down the front stretch. 3 shoved the 41 down the racetrack, and 41 shoved him right back up the track going into turn 1.
Well,
they've been hard battling the last few laps while you were interviewing Cyber.
Well, I guess we're going to keep an eye on that because right now this is the best battle on track right now. With the pit stops, everyone has really spaced on out right now, and currently no one's a lap down, no caution so far. But as you can see, that the 3 and the 41 are so close, and there was a bit of words exchange right there. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Gio, actually, Cyber, this is for you actually. Gio wishes you a congratulations on your championship. So there you go. From one team owner to congratulating a driver. So there we go. The 34 is on pit road. I wonder why that is. A bit of a early call.
It's been, I think it's around lap 55, so he might be pitting or trying to short pit here to get an advantage. That might be how he got so much time to begin with.
What, make it in 2 more stops, you think? Can he make it in 2 more stops? No. In 3 more stops?
57, no. Let's see, so 2 more stops, that would be, if he's doing it at lap 55, he could do it. His second pit stop would be 110, so he could.
Ooh, I don't know. That's really pushing it, though. I don't know. We'll have to see how that. We'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, that is the 34 coming on down pit lane. Of course, he has his mic muted, so we won't quite be able to tell what his strategy was like, but. Perhaps maybe he was just far too loose that he just couldn't bear it anymore. I mean, as much as I want to say that, oh yeah, it was a blown tire or loose lug nut, loose wheel, that is unfortunately not in the game. So it had to have been either handling or a strategy call. So a bit of an interesting strategy call if you ask me there, BS.
I think it depends on what he wants to achieve. Is 42 ping this time? That's interesting.
Oh, the 34. Good. Yeah, the 34 splitting the 38. So, I mean, I would probably assume that those two are probably in a party. So that's why the 38 kind of checked on up, because the 34 said, hey, coming in hot. Because he is on fresh tires, and that is the difference between fresh tires and old tires. The 42 and 38 are still on their second stint. Meanwhile, MH is on his third. But yeah, you can see that, I mean, interesting strategy call right now is what I'll say. Kalen, though, to kind of give an update, has moved up to P4 with MH pitting. So currently, Kalen is definitely doing exactly what he needs to do and move forward with his race. He's catching the 18 Mopile Cat. As I say that, the 18 gets wicked tight and goes into the outside wall of it coming off the 2. Gio says, I can't lie, I thought about doing some MRL, but really needed this long off season. Well, there we go. I can imagine. We'd be more than happy to have you. I know Xander and everyone at GMI, Bassbuck included, would love to have you in here. But, you know, of course, you got to take care of you, bud, and that's what we always say. Life comes first.
The battle between the 41 and the 3 seems to have tapered off a little bit. Looks like the major battles on... Ooh, Liam's lagging a little bit.
Oh, what else is new?
Nothing too crazy though. Yeah, right. So right now it looks to have shifted to the 42, the 38, and the 43. Battle for 8th. Or 7th with MH pitting.
Well, I'll tell you what, the 43 has been showing some speed on this second stint. about to make the pass on 38 of Piper. So he is currently in P10 looking for P9, and we'll get it here with the pass right there. And then P8 is actually right in front of him. So he's definitely showing some speed right now. Well, actually, technically, he's already in P8 because MH pit already. But again, I'm still trying to wrap my brain around what strategy the, MH is on. So potentially this could be maybe a race-winning move. I don't know. We'll see. The 42 wicked
42
loose though.
loose.
It makes you wonder what preset he's on. I run a preset 4 here, so I wonder if because I feel like that's like a perfect of like not get too tight, too loose. Maybe maybe he's running preset 5, but Liam will just slice on down and will take the spot.
Smooth. Very, very smooth pass right there for Liam, taking perfect advantage of his opponent's mistakes.
Yes.
And go ahead.
Well, that would be P6 right there, is what I wanted to say.
To echo what you were saying with your preset, that's what I ran in testing for race. It felt pretty good.
But yeah,
Ooh, 42 really loose.
and I just went away from that too. Yeah, 42 is not liking his car right now. I would imagine he's going to start coming down pit road in order to get those adjustments, but we'll have to see on that. So, right now, I mean, shoot, those top two are gone right now. The 18 is in a very lonely race with the 11 actually closing on in right now. So, you like where I'm seeing right now, you can barely see the front two. He is crossing the start-finish line, and they're not even in his vision anymore. So, the 11, though, is closing in, so we may see a battle for the podium spot here. Like I said, unlike stage racing, where positions have to be earned as quickly as possible, this is a slow inch-by-inch where you have to work to your own strengths. You can see that with Liam.
In the grass.
Oh, yeah. At that point, I would be like, you know what? I'm throwing in the towel. I got to pit right now for adjustments. And I think he is. Yep, that's what he's doing. I'm far too loose. I can't drive it anymore. So gotta go up on the wedge. Gotta bring up the lefts, lower the rights. I gotta throw the kitchen sink at it. Maybe it will stick.
Well, he certainly had to change something because he was not having a good time out there. I would hate to have been driving his race car.
Yes, and that's not what you want to see out of a competitor. But I can imagine with him coming on down, that's going to be another round of pit stops are going to be right around the corner. Cyber, care to share how many more laps of fuel you have?
Currently have 3 laps.
Currently have 3 left. Hey, it's like I can do math or something. But yeah, we can see that yeah, pit stops are going to be happening here real quick here. The 42 is going to blend right in front of the 11. However, the 42 benefit of fresh tires will be able to just pull on away from the 11. However, that will kind of benefit the ladder here and kind of tow him up a little bit. Use the benefit of the draft. Not enough to make the pass, obviously, but definitely enough to help him move forward.
Yeah, I think the draft is going to have a pretty solid effect in it for these guys who've been running by themselves for the... Copy. I think for the guys who are running by themselves for the entire stunt run, any bit of draft they can get will help propel them forward a little bit.
And actually, one thing I'm seeing right now is the one pitting this time. You can see it, and Cyber's going to echo that. I would say that's a different distance of 3 seconds, I would say. So from 3 seconds back, you're going to see the one of Xander make the really aggressive pit. But I think, ooh, Cyber, was that a little too hot?
Yep, got it in perfectly.
Oh, well, perfectly. Well, there we go. That's why I'm always a little apprehensive going onto pit road right there. But you can see the distance gained by just doing that right there. Just how aggressive can you get on pit road? You can gain a full position, maybe even 2, depending on where you're at on track, by just going in a little bit deeper. of course, the deficit is speeding. So it's a self-serving penalty, actually. But so one thing I'm actually seeing here is this race is actually really, with no cautions, is actually really benefiting like the 43, who was at one point dead last. Remember, lap 1 gave up his good starting spot to go to the rear. So that was P12, and right now I would assume, because he's still out on track right now, that he is P2, because I'm assuming the 17 who just pit right now. So the 00 probably is the leader. So yeah, he's probably P2 right now.
The 34 with short pitting got himself ahead of the 18, but the 18 is making the pass back right now on his fresh tires.
Well, like I said, I'm still trying to figure out what kind of strategy that he's on right now. That's basically half a fuel run that he undercut to 18. Yes, it kind of worked out, but in the long run here, going to the end, will he have to make another stop? Did he essentially just shoot himself in the foot?
We'll have to wait until the end and see.
Other than that, though, looks like the first person to be lapped has been done. That is the one the one is leading, lapping the 41 of Justin Shackett. So that will be our first car one lap down, and as they circle on around again, I can only assume that US Trek Enterprise, aka Goose, will be put another lap down. Or not another lap down, a lap down to join the 41 right here. And of course, those two kind of got into it last stint. We'll see if the benefit of fresh tires on the 3 will, if he will be able to chase on down the 41.
The Spice right now, we'll see how that shakes up if the 3 does catch up to the 41. Right now we've got a battle for, that looks like P9 between the 42 and the 38.
Mm-hmm.
Right
and
for the race leader.
Looks like one thing I'm seeing is, because remember, the 42 pit before the 38, so right now the 38 has fresher tires. So Piper, doing exactly what he needed to do. Same thing with the 41 and the 3. Honestly, I'm thinking the person out of that group right there that benefits the best on short runs is actually probably the 38, and the 42 absolutely dies on the long run, just with him getting wicked loose. He needs to make some major adjustments, and I wonder if he did on this second stint, or going into the third stint now.
I'm curious to see what he did as well. Ooh, yeah, but he's still getting loose. If he made any adjustments, they're not really helping him right now.
Well, sometimes, honestly, depending on your preset, there is no fixing the preset. There are just some tracks, like Texas, honestly, I feel, that you could run a 1, and eventually you're going to get loose off 4. I mean, Gateway as well. No matter if you run a 1 or a 9, your right rear is still going to absolutely burn as the 42 gets wicked loose. I think he's just gassing it up way too much off of 2 at that point, and he is paying the price right now. And he's actually, the 1 is going to be going below, and we'll put him on a lap down.
Woody pulling away, running solidly in P8 right now. Looks like he's running a bit of a higher line than the 42 and the 1 and the 38.
Cyber, whenever you get a chance, could you say what the distance is between you and the 18?
Between the 18?
Yeah.
Distance is currently 6 seconds.
Okay, so 6 seconds comparison to the 18 is, as Cyber's starting the finish line, the 18's coming off of 4. So it's about a little more than 3/4 of a straight. So it's a big distance. Meanwhile, the 11 is, like I said, ever so slightly gaining on that 18. So you can see that that is a big difference in strategy right there. The 34 as well is starting to get loose, but that's old tires talking right there. Keep in mind, MH Pitt, a good 10, 11, 12 laps before everyone else. Will it pay off? We'll see at the end of this race. 134 laps total is what's on docket tonight. If you guys are liking what you're seeing, we are starting up a fun season next season, and also we're going to be hosting a special episode of MRL Fastlane with all of our champions for this week. So that will be Cyber for sure. BS as well, because with him winning the combined standings, will be invited. UK with his lap put in for tomorrow, he will be invited. Now, who will be the Monday representative? But either way, all these guys will be invited up for a special episode of Fastlane, just to kind of shoot the breeze and maybe talk about the actual racing.
38 and the 42 battling side by side. I think something happened to 38 where he lost a bit of time, but to the 42, but he remakes the pass here, and they're.
But the 42 gives him the bumper, though. The 42 just sent him going into the corner. These two are, that was really iffy. Now the 42's out of control loose, and that is going to open up the door for Justin Shackett to make the pass. 42 sends it going into turn 3. You can see how aggressive he is getting on and off the corners. And the 41 just makes the pass right there. And this is all in front of P2 right now. Cyber has a clear view of what's going on. The 18 has backed on out. The 18's out of this race.
And I was about to say, Cyber's probably watching all this going like, guys, please, stop.
Well, he has nothing to lose, so, yeah. He has nothing to lose at this point, so he can be like, yeah, you know what, have fun.
It might just be me, but getting taken out regardless of whether I have anything to lose just doesn't really feel all too great. I don't know, maybe it's just me.
Well, you can see either way, everyone just gains a position right there, apart from the front two. So Pied Piper and Justin Shackett are now actually fighting for P8 on track. That puts Liam into P7, and he is still on the lead lap right now as Xander is chasing him down.
38 and the 41 still side by side. They've been side by side for at least a lap now, and counting.
Yes,
gets the advantage in turn 1.
Cyber has a front row seat for this right now. The 41 seemed to come alive on this stint right now. Piper, though, gets a little loose. Thankfully, no one was below him. Cyber taking it nice and smooth right now. Just knowing that, time is not of the essence right now. He can just take it as easily as possible. That being said, he gets into the back of the 41, and Cyber, hold on to it, bud. Oh my goodness.
What a save from the 14.
What a save by the 14 right there. But sometimes that's just the price. As the 38 and the 41 get tangled right there. I don't know for sure, but it looks like the 38 got loose and the 41 was just down low right there. There's just nowhere that the 41 could go.
34 on pit road.
Yep, 34 doing 34 things, and with his bizarre strategy. I'm just calling it like I see it. I honestly am racking my head around that strategy right now, so we'll see.
We'll see how. Maybe he's just gonna come out with P3 one of these runs, and the caution's just gonna come out immediately and give him track position.
At that point,
chess and we're playing checkers.
At that point, he's gonna be like, I had a plan. Meanwhile, the crew chief was just like, yeah, I was just making up as I was going. But hey, sometimes you need a little. It's better to be lucky than good. So sometimes that's what you have to go for. Look at
me and Xfinity.
Well, not no, I didn't say that. I was going to say Michael McDowell. I mean, look at it takes the leaders actually going out and wrecking each other as U.S. Trek Enterprise is going to be making the his pit stop right now. Very interesting because he was the last one to pit last time, but he'll be the first to pit this time. So I think he just wants the track position and not have to battle the 4 in front of him. Just keep in mind, though, that is P8, 9, and 10 that was in front of him at that point. Liam is now in P7. We're on board with him right now as Xander is actually closing in on him. Let's gotta check on in with Hunty, who is P6. Or should I say P5 right now? So I apologize. With MH pitting, that will be P5 now.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to keep track of active positions sometimes with people pitting off sequence.
Well, like I said, just when you get into your head about where everyone is, and all of a sudden one person pits, you're just like, God damn it. But yeah, that's kind of been the theme of the night right now. As you can see, the 17 currently in P4 on the cusp of getting his first Cup podium. Unfortunately, he'll have to go through the 11, who is a solid straight ahead right now. That 11 is gone. But he is actually under fire from the 00 that is right behind. So we'll have to see how that kind of shakes on out, as the 3 behind both of them has fresh tires and will be looking to get track position. That is the last thing you want, is to be on fresh tires and all of a sudden you have cars that you know are slower right in front of you.
Oh yeah, I had that happen to me at the where it was so strange, but at the same time, I feel like they ran their best laps of the entire race when I was behind them, so it didn't actually hurt me all that bad.
Yeah. Well, old tires are a wonder on road courses. So, yeah, we're definitely it's weird how that kind of works on out, but yeah,
it was very interesting to say the least, but it definitely worked out for me.
Yes, exactly. A P2 finish at a track that you yourself said, this is gonna suck. I hate it. I'll take my last place. I quoted.
I think I said 7th place. We might want to go check back in Discord for that.
Either way, when we had 7 people signed up, yes, that was last place. But actually, speaking of people getting loose, I know we weren't even talking about that. I saw Piper actually get a little bit loose, and again, the 38 and 42 are going to find themselves close together yet again. I can imagine that the 42 is going to be coming on down to pit here shortly. Meanwhile, the 34 is going to be making up some ground and using a little bit of the draft from the 42 here, hoping and praying that there is no contact between each other. The 42 will get loose, allowing the 34 to get past. And then that will allow the 38 to get passed by the 34, who runs the high side, will get a good runoff too. But as long as he doesn't get loose, and he does a little bit, but nothing too crazy. 38 stays high here.
The 3 did get by the 17 and the 00, but it looks like the new tires have worn off, and now the 17 looks like he's getting ready to pass him back. That's not for position by any means, but it is costing these guys times.
Yes, it's costing the 17 time, as the 00, which is for position, is now within, what, 0.2 seconds of him right now? The 3, actually, by battling with the 17 and not pulling away, has actually cost the 17 time.
It's basically 2 car lengths at this point, and that's turning into a pretty good battle. Position 14 is gonna go ahead and go around the 41 finally.
Pretty good by differing opinions. It's good for the 00. It's bad for the 17. So call it as you will. The 1 puts the 43 a lap down, so that will be The 43 down another, down into the lucky dog position. Side drafting, fighting the 1, actually. Surprising, actually.
.42's on pit road.
42 on pit road. All right, that means...
Oh, there's a few drivers 41 on pit road as well. Wait, is that 41?
No, that would be the 11. The 11 just came off pit road. Meanwhile, right now the 11 is in a race of his own right now. He is in a in P3, not really gaining time on the 14, and he's so far ahead from the 17 that right now he's basically in his own little world right now. So it's just one of those things that sometimes you just find yourself in one of those positions that, I mean, you're kind of in your own race.
A little bit there. I don't know if that was intentional. Oh, and they made contact.
And if I'm the 17, I'm just like, dude, you're a lap down. Why are you racing me so hard? And that will open up the door for the 00 to pass right now, because a little bit of contact was made. The 17 swipes low, and again, the battle is on. But like I said, if I'm the 17, I'm just like, what are you doing? The only way that this would potentially backfire for the 3 is if he does not gain track position from all this. So looks like the 17 has had enough, and he will come on down pit road this time. So the 00 has to respect that. So 1 and 14 are already down.
00 goes stay out 1 extra time.
Well, 00 has actually been pitting a little bit later than usual, so interesting to see how that kind of shakes on out. Pied Piper also down on pit road.
41 coming down this time.
Cyber, whenever you get off pit road, could you actually let us know on what lap it is?
Currently lap 92.
Lap 92. PS, we're actually coming up to the final sin of this run here. So, okay, I think I'm finally beginning to see what MH was doing. He kind of did the math, and by the time he pits, which should be like what, lap 105, something like that.
106 will be just enough.
Yes, 106 will be his opportunity to pit, and then totally have to be able to make it in one more, and that will be his final stop. So I think I'm finally beginning to see, but will he be able to hit 106?
I don't know. We'll see. I think everyone else who pitted way after him will definitely be good to go on one more stop, and it's too far to stretch fuel for 40 laps. So I don't think we have to worry about a Packer scenario from Kentucky this particular race.
But the question then opens up instead. Do you take 2 tires or 4 tires on the final stop?
I have no idea. I know my right sides were really low when I ran out of fuel here before, so. But I never tested the handling on 2 tires either, so I couldn't tell whether that would be a good strategy or not.
For the beginning part of the run, I can just speak from experience. For the beginning part of the run, 2 tires feels pretty alright. And then they just die. And then it feels like, okay, well then now I just feel like I'm back on worn tires again. So I wish there was a little more consistency with that, but that's just me. So one thing I'm seeing as well is the 11 actually has kind of gained a little bit of ground on the 14. Albeit nowhere near striking distance yet, but he has gained some ground. But now the 11 has to go through the same traffic that the 14 did, and we all know what happened with that. The 14 got loose, and all of a sudden, now potentially hadn't made that massive save on the actual corner, but the 42. That's the problem with the lap traffic. Is sometimes when they're actually battling for positions of their own, um, and the leaders are actually coming through, it's really hard because you can't fault the lappers for not getting out of the way because they're also fighting for position, you know?
Yeah, I was getting ready to ask. I think MH got a speed penalty because before he pitted, he had just gotten passed by the 11, and now he's like a whole corner back. I can't even see him
Well,
from
that just
my
ruins his
viewpoint.
strategy. That was the entire point of his strategy. Oh, things you hate to see.
Mistakes. I just definitely hate to see it. And the reason why I noticed that is because Xander's about to lap him now.
Actually, that will be a lap down for MH as Xander very handily makes the pass, but actually this puts a Liam in another position to potentially within right there. So, okay, let's kind of go through the field real quick to kind of, as we're on that topic. So, the one of Xander is currently on the front stretch right now. Cyber is in P2, and he is in the middle of 3 and 4. P3 is Kalen as we go through to find him. P3 is Kalen in the 11, who is, I would have to say, maybe 5 seconds away from the leader, or not the leader, P2 right now. But he is making steady progress. P4 is Brandon, I do believe, unless he got passed by Hunty. Nope, but P4 and P5 are nose and stern right there, so that is that distance right there. So that's P4 and P5. P6 is MH, who, as we just saw, got passed by the leader. There it is. So that is a lap down for MH. P7 goes to Liam, as I have to go through this entire thing yet again. P8 goes to, I do believe, it was Goose, but now it's, Justin Shackett. Justin Shackett, actually drafting with the 14, so he's actually making good use of that. So that's P8 right there. P9 goes to Piper, P10 to US Strike Enterprise, and P11 goes to Bush. Interesting that the 11 has to go through lap traffic like this, because now that's going to put US Trek in the bottom, trying to make it go 3 wide, but there is just no speed down there. The 11 actually hits the wall a little bit, and now the 3 actually bounces off the 11. So the 11 tried to get a good run down the backstretch, but will have to wind up his momentum yet again.
Yeah, hitting the wall will kill any momentum you gain, as I believe Hunty has made the pass on Brandon. We've got side by side. Well, we've got battle for fourth at least.
Well, one thing I'm seeing, like I said, I kind of hinted at it through the field right there. The 41 of Justin Shackett's actually utilizing Cyber as a bit of a tow right now. He's actually using Cyber's speed to drag him up through the field, kind of similar to, I guess I would say, like a tow truck, just kind of pulling him along right there. So the 41 has gapped the rest of his competitors that he was fighting vehemently in the beginning of this race, and now will try to set his sights on Liam, who's that red dot in front of Cyber, going in the middle of 3 and 4 right now.
I will say I've noticed the 41 has been getting better and better as the race goes on. I do believe he's having a very solid run, and it's better than what I expected. So hats off to him for having a good race today.
Well, another thing, like I said, is the 43 being in P6 right now, or I guess P7, as MH is in P6. Another good run from both of these guys. Liam, of course, has a podium this season with the Indy Road Course, finishing P3 there. But most consistently has been on the cusp of a top 10. I actually, let me actually pull up the stats real quick as we actually talk about him, as I'm riding on board with the 43 as he, that's a lag spike, never mind, I lied. I thought it was him getting loose right there. But no, Liam actually has an average finish of um, I have it right here, 9.8. And Kalen actually no, making some noise right now on someone with racing him while being a lap down. We're gonna go on board with that. It looks like Piper, maybe. And just one thing that you have to realize that his competitors are literally right behind him. You don't want to you don't want to lose as much time as possible. So that is my argument for that. Kind of similar to how the 41 is using the 14. It looks like the 38 is going to be using the 11 to kind of tow him up through the field.
Maybe the 38 was watching what Justin Check was doing and decided to see if he could replicate it. I don't think he'll gain him very much at this point. I think it's a little too late for that, but he's at least trying, and that's what counts.
Yes, and that's one thing that the 11, coming on down pit road right now. The 34, as you can see, has already made his stop. Cyber, what lap is it actually by chance?
Currently lap 108.
108, yep. So MH was on a little bit of an inverse strategy, but instead of not even thinking about 4 tires, 2 tires, he was just like, you know what, I'm just going to pit early and in stint 2, and he is good to go right now. So, he's A-okay to the end. But that being said, though, the 00 and the 17 have been knockout, drag-out fighting this entire race, and it just seems like those two cannot escape each other's grasp.
Yeah, but it looks like the best battle on track right now with things dying down between the lap traffic. It's been a pretty good battle. Every now and then it'll be the 00 getting loose and the 17 will close back up, and then the 17 will get loose and the 00 will get a bit of a gap. But even when he does that, the draft is always going to be there for him to pull him back up to him. So they're still even close.
Oh, I mean, we're going to see how it kind of shakes on out to see if anyone will indeed try to take 2 tires. I feel like I can almost guarantee that there's going to be someone that's going to try to take 2 tires, but I don't know if it'll necessarily work. So we'll see on that one. But right now, the 1 is just having a field day right now. And I've actually mentioned it in the Fastlane episode. It seems like Xander has a flow to him. Every time that he has a bad race, he follows it up with a win. It all starts back at Vegas. He sped. He won at Phoenix the next race. That was race 2 and race 3. Finished 19th at Talladega. Finishes first at the Glen. Finishes 13th at Kentucky. 2nd at Michigan. Okay? So I'm a little off right there, but you have Road America. We all know what happened at Road America. Followed up with a win at Iowa. 6th at Daytona, which if that's a blemish on your record, then congrats, you had a really good season. 1 at Kansas, and right now a 10th at Texas last race, and leading right now at Homestead. It's really weird how that works out sometimes, but. Everyone has their flow and their little niches to them. So niche, I guess that's what it is.
I think for me, that shows that Xander's either a win or finish in the back kind of guy. There just really is no in between. He's either winning or he's finishing 13th. There's just no in between.
Well, the points kind of show that, actually. Like I said, for shots and goggles, we did the math, and if he would have put a lap in at Charlotte, this would still be Cyber's championship as they run. So, but because of that, you have the entirety of the season to make up those points. And sometimes you have you know a
Well,
bad
then you wonder as well, like if the points were different throughout the season, how would the racing have changed between the 1 and the 14? Because there's no guarantee that with the points being what would have been in Xander's favor at Texas, if he had put in a Charlotte lap, there's no guarantee he would have made those same mistakes with basically he had to make up 46 points per race. So you never know what could have changed with the mentality of the drivers with a different points leader potentially at Texas or earlier on in the season versus where it actually ended up being with the real timeline.
yes, and one thing that I mean that's a what if for a Marvel episode, but the fact still remains is it all comes down to Charlotte. Essentially, that's where the championship was won or lost. And in reality, we could play what ifs. We did, like, oh, what if he did put in a lap? Well, what if the racing did change throughout the entirety of the season? The reality is that he didn't. So here we are. With
He didn't, and he got burned.
Exactly, and that's why I always say that's why you put in a lap. It is a safety net. It's better to put in a joke lap of running backwards for it could be 4 minutes.
I feel like you're hinting at something, but I
No,
can't put my
and
finger
I
on it.
actually don't want anyone to do it because then I have to watch it. But I'm just saying, like, you could have a joke lap, but you still sent in a lap, and that's exactly what the system is there for. Life gets in the way sometimes, and that's what happened. Cyber, for all intents and purposes, still ran a perfect season, and it still came down to one race, and that's, I think, what the beauty of MRL does for anyone that is watching, potentially even thinking about joining, is the competitiveness that comes from the series. Of course, every series apart from Monday, you can actually see on Monday what happens when every single driver runs every race. But other than that, everyone else has either not shown up for a race or not put in a lap, and because of that, gave up the championship. But Monday shows exactly what can happen if you do show up or put in a lap every single race. And you have a very tight points battle where we don't know who's going to win until the checkered flag flies on Monday.
So I have a small observation. The 11 is behind the 00 and the 17 right now.
Oh, looks like the 11 sped then. So that puts Hunty into the podium position. That would mean that the 17. I guess that would explain why he's been so pushy lately, because now he's fighting for a podium.
I will say the 11 is closing in on both of them, so it could still be a 3-car race for the podium here.
Cyber, are we correct on that? The 00 of Hunty is in P3, correct?
You are correct.
Aha! And how many laps are left?
Currently in the pits, I will give you it in seconds.
Ooh, we've got people pitting.
Oh, that also probably explain why he was in behind him.
Currently on lap 121 right now, coming out of this.
Gotcha. Do you take 2 or 4?
4.
Ah. No balls. You already won the championship. I just wanted to see what would have happened. But I don't know. Just kind of go out with a bang. But okay, so that would explain why the 11 was behind him, was because the 17 and 00 haven't pit yet.
That would explain a lot. Yeah.
Well, that's a lot less entertaining than I thought it was going to be. But
for some reason, I thought they'd already made their last pit stop.
I thought so too. But But no, we're thinking of MH in that regard. MH, he was the one that stopped as soon as the window was open.
Yeah. Whoops, my bad.
Well, and speaking of MH, I can just only assume, where is Liam at in comparison to him? Well, I guess MH has pit, Liam has not, so I guess that would make sense. Meanwhile, the 38 and 42 are still going at it. Double zero, I feel like the double zero is going to try 2 tires. Just saying. With how long he's been, with as long as he's been extending his stints, I feel like he's gonna try to throw something at the wall.
Question. Well, the last people were pitting on 92, and he's been going 30 odd laps a run at least.
Okay.
He's no pit this time.
Wait, who is?
Hunty.
Oh yeah, Hunty though. Yeah, let's see 11 go by. So let's actually go on board with him to see if that theory is correct. So of course he's going to be hitting his marks. Currently, apart from MH, no pit road speeding penalties tonight. Being very conservative going on pit road, not really pushing his tires that much. You can see the 38, the 3 go by, the 42, the 17. That's his competitor right there. So we're gonna find out if the double zero takes 2 or not. There's the 43. And he would be down and away right now. Yes, he is taking 2. And there goes the 11.
Yeah, I don't think it gained him very much.
No, but definitely this would allow him to actually finish in front of the 17, which I guess is his goal. He realized that, you know what, the 17 is who I'm racing with right now, and he is a podium's out of my reach, so I'm just going to go what I can for the position.
I don't think he wants 3 right in front of him, though. 43 is coming off the pit road.
Yeah, I wonder where the 43 is then. 43, oh yeah, he's on pit road right now. Yep, coming off pit road now. Goes back a lap down. I would assume he also took 2. Really?
38 is battling right now.
He would be able to jump in front of the 34, but will he be able to hold it? Cyber, can you let us know when we have 5 laps to go, please?
4.
Oh, we are at 4 to go. Okay, good talk.
No, I said 10-4.
Oh, 10-4. Oh, my bad. Okay, I heard 4. That was it, so... Okay, I was about to say, man, if we're at 4 to go, that would explain why. Shoot, at that point, I would take no tires, just gas. But yeah, the double zero, it looks like it's going to have P4 pretty much locked up. The 17 is going to be able to gain some ground, but like, unfortunately for some people that aren't quite aware with the dynamics of Homestead, kind of tracks like similar to Darlington. Texas is another one of those. Eventually the tires wear out so fast that they even out really quickly. So the advantage gained by short pitting is almost nullified within a few laps.
You just hit that.
Oh, he's 5 laps to go?
Yeah, we just hit it.
Just hit it. There we go. Where is Xander on track right now? Okay, there we go. Dang, Cyber, you have a half track distance between first and second. Alright, well, I guess that just shows that Xander put all he could into this race with 5 laps to go right now. That is all he can do. Really, one big mistake is probably the only way he's going to lose this. Like the 42 lags into him, and it takes him, I don't know, a minute to get it refired or something like that.
pretty ridiculous. The 38 just passed the 00, but that's not for position. It doesn't look like it's helping the 17 that much.
No, and actually, like I said, it looks like the 43 will be able to snooker a position out of the 34, though. So Liam, I guess, showed up at the end of the race right there. Good show from that. The 17 is gaining on the 00, but I think he will run out of laps because now the 00 has the tow from the 38. So that's just going to help him on the stretch, front and back stretch.
Funnily enough, I think that's the best battle on track right now. I do not see a better one to look at. So
No, the 11 is the 11 now is just solidifying his podium right now. You can actually see Cyber just on the corner of your screen as he's coming off 2. He's about to go into 3 right there. So that is Cyber in that little socket right there. So the 11 has lost some ground somewhere, some way along these stints. Yeah, the 17 though will not be able to gain any ground on the 00. I think he will just run out of time. Xander's about to take 1 to go, correct?
We just hit the white flag. He's going to the checkers.
Oh, he's going to the checkers right now. Xander coming home with a dominating run will end the season with a win, but not the title, as the real champion is in the middle of 3 and 4. Do a donut or you're not the champion. Going to the line. Yes, that is the 14 taken. There we go. You heard it here.
Yes!
He's celebrating like he didn't know already.
it was clearly in doubt this entire
race.
race.
It was totally in doubt this entire race. He was racing as if whoever won was going to win the championship. Man, what a points format that would be. You have to win in order to win the championship. Wow. Can't even imagine.
Nah. I mean, Matt Crafton can't imagine it either.
Yeah, Matt Crafton can't. I mean, winless season still wins the championship.
In a format that's supposed to reward winning.
All right, guys, good race. If I could have a full sheet of results, that would be perfect. Top 3 I have as Xander, Cyber, and Kalen. You guys will be invited up to the booth for interviews. So good racing, guys. They never acknowledge me. MH with the fastest lap. Ooh, spice. The spice.
MH is goated.
MH is goated. Though, if I did my math correctly, he will finish a P7. So, while a fastest lap is a definite show of confidence going into next season, we will see who definitely what these guys have to say. Just waiting on their results as I am speaking right now, but we will see. So yeah, Cyber, it was Kalen P3, correct?
Yes, you're correct.
Aha. He went from excited to very, again, monotone within 2 seconds. Well, Cyber is like one of those guys that's very, I'm not saying monotone. I guess maybe that's not the right word for it. Soft-spoken is what I should say. But where the hell did I go ask it? Oh, yes, I did. You're going to invite these two up here for the booth. But yeah, he is very soft-spoken, so when he does win, it comes out of nowhere. I'm just like, whoa. So that's what happens. But, all right, so we're just waiting on Kalen right now. And as we are waiting for that, I see them just joining, so never mind on that. Let's go through the top, or I guess the finishing results. Of course, Xander had no doubt in his mind he could have paid an extra time and probably still would have won. Cyber P2, Kalen P3, Hunty P4, and Brandon lines up in P5. Liam gaining that extra spot with MH's pit road speeding penalty. That will be P6. MH then in P7. Justin Shack at P8. Pied Piper P9. Goose US Trek Enterprise P10. And Bushfan P11 with UK finishing P12. So good racing, guys. How are you guys doing today?
Not too bad.
Well, we
Good.
have we have Kalen, like I said, coming in with his second race of the season. Again, I very much thank you guys for waiting so long for this race to start. We were waiting for the real life cup race to end, but thank you guys for waiting along with us here. So, of course, let's start with our P3 here, Kalen. It seems like you kind of were in a race of your own there for a hot second, and then as soon as you guys got clear from the double zero and this, or you got clear from the double zero and the 17, you were just trying to catch the 18, but he did unfortunately lag on out or left one of those two. What was your race like that after? Was it just settle for P3 or see what you can do into the 14?
I was trying to see if I could catch Cyber. I probably should have tried the two-tire strategy instead of splitting it up and doing four tires, but I don't know. I really wasn't gaining much on him, and Meat Wagon's in a whole different zip code on that. But riding by myself pretty much most of the time.
Well, of course, some races are like that. The longer races, especially like Charlotte as well. Sometimes you're in your own little race at some points, but it's of course you capitalize on the mistakes of others. And when the 18 did leave, that was a podium, that was a place, that's a spot, as someone would say. Um, that's that's definitely a reason to not give up, and you definitely did not do that. So looking forward to next season. You're ending the season, still racing for Xfinity. However, you will be elevated to the Cup Series next season by virtue of the combined standings. What is your outlook for season one on the new game?
Um, I'm just ready to try the game out and see how that goes before I worry about too much, I guess.
Oh well, definitely the competition. I feel like will definitely elevate as we get there because everyone's going to be on the same playing field. So definitely, it's going to be a big change. So that's my perspective, though. So I'm excited to see what you can do on Saturdays. But yeah, good race ending the season. Well, before our fun season, I guess next race at Talladega. But yes, good job there, Caitlin. P3.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. BS, you want to do Xander? Let's do Cyber last since he's the champion.
Alrighty. Hello, Xander. How you doing tonight?
Uh, good.
So, pretty smooth sailing from start to finish. Pretty early on, you and Cyber broke away from the field. How was your car handling? And did you know from the start you had this race in the bag?
Definitely had a great car. Didn't make any changes to it after the first pit stop, so tire wear was good and just race good. And obviously it's tough to predict anything here, especially with Cyber, because Cyber is just very good too, and he can win anywhere and he can run with anyone because there's a reason he won a championship tonight. So congrats on that, by the way, buddy, brother. Great racing with you. So it's he's a champion, so he's the greatest racer in this league, so he can get it done anywhere. So the number one Monster Energy Chevrolet was good, and definitely shout out to everyone at GMI. What an awesome season it's been. 9 wins for me is awesome. We got 1 for Brandon, and 10 wins out of the 18 is awesome. So no matter where you finish in the standings, no matter what happens, you have to look at the positives. Don't look at it glass half empty. So we had a great season, and I cannot wait for the next one. And congrats to Cyber for sure.
Alrighty, I think you touched on everything I was going to ask you. So, congrats
Yeah.
on your win tonight. And
Thank you.
Patton, if you'd like to take it away with our champion.
Sure. So Cyber, of course. It was clear by going before even in this race and before he even started that you were the champion. Of course, finishing results aside, how does that feel to get that monkey off your back? As I can finally find Boyer here. There he is. There he is. Find him.
Well, I can say just phenomenal job. Like from the start of the first race season Auto Club to tonight for me. Just had a like I even told you at the start of when this league was created, like I was just like I was pinpointing if I wanted to run the full season. That's why I told you that first day when you mentioned it to me. Like I'll try to make the race the best I can, and here we are, champions. And GG to the one phenomenal season, like dominated. I think half the schedule this wins, like different zip code right there. Yeah, just it's a different feeling. Like finally getting over the hump and winning the title. There was other leagues I had a chance at it, but I didn't want this one to slip away, and I completed the mission and won a championship.
Well, in dominating performance too. I didn't actually realize it until BS told me last week. But you never gave up the points lead. So how does that feel?
There was points where I was thinking like I was gonna give up at one race, but it's just us drivers, and we have different schedules on when we want to like do the whole practice or before the race week, and how life gets in the way. Like you mentioned that a lot, but yeah, kind of surprised and held on the point throughout the season.
Well, there we go. Of course, you will uh, definitely. Well, I guess a couple things. Going into the for fun season, I know it's not on everyone's top priority in order to race the full season, but of course, to hopefully to see you go back and back, both you and Xander, to work together to potentially make the that season as good as this one. But for season one proper, do you want to? I already know the answer to this, but maybe let the audience know what driver you're going to be choosing for your car next season, or was that going to be a secret for later on?
I'm gonna leave that a secret to the fans. All I can just say, it's a car that I've been wanting to drive ever since the season started. So I'll just leave it to the fans. Let them think what car is it for season one next season.
Well, of course, season one proper will start with the Bush Clash on November the 6th, but the spread in between that, to kind of sprinkle it in, is a Dash for Cash season where real money will be given on out to kind of show my appreciation as the owner for all these drivers that are putting their time and effort into running these races. And again, thank you all so much for coming on out. These racers for coming on out and everyone watching for watching so late into the night. We started 2 hours later than what we do, so thank you all so much for that. BS, any final thoughts before we close it on off for the night? Any thoughts for our champion? Runner
Uh,
up?
Congratulations on your championship, Cyber. It was well deserved, and Xander, you had a phenomenal season as well. Well deserved runner up and good win tonight.
Thank you. I have some final
And
thoughts to say though,
Oh
but
boy, here we go.
before you end the stream, I want to say thank you, Patton, for not only an awesome season of broadcasting every race, watching every little thing, watching every bump, watching every lap, every pit stop, every penalty. It not only is that awesome, it's a lot of commitment, and I appreciate you for everything you do as a person and everything that you do for this league. So, thanks to you, Patton, and thanks to BS. BS has been in the booth a lot, and man's got a great voice, and it's awesome to listen to.
Oh, there you go, BS. Look at that. Thank you guys
uh,
again for participating in that. So that's what I have to say.
also, Kalen, great job on your podium. Really impressive run.
Thank you.
Two starts, two podiums. That
There we go.
is
Good.
for a hot seat Xfinity driver. That is a really that's gonna make the Cup Garage kind of open eyes and be like, oh, that's someone got to watch out for season one proper.
For
So
sure.
again, he will be racing on Saturdays come season one. So. We will see how that kind of shakes out. But we are done here for the Cup side of things. This has been Season 0 of MRL Cup Series done and dusted. The Cup Series will return for the Dash for Cash next Saturday, but that's just for fun. So we're gonna see how these guys do. So Season 1 proper, like I said, will start November 6th, but our championship week is still not over. We have Sunday Series, which UK with his lap has locked up the title there, but Monday is all up for grabs. Who's gonna win it? It's gonna be Nathan or Packers, but glad to see on Monday. But championship is far from over. MRL's far from done, so we'll have to see it how things will kind of work on out starting with tomorrow. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we're going to once again congratulate our champion as well as runner-up, albeit in flip places for the winner of tonight's race. Okay, Liam. Tonight's race was Xander winning in Cyber P2, but Cyber coming out on top in the points. So thank you guys so much, and we will catch you tomorrow. Have a good one, guys.
Peace.
Peace.